When I was born, I had something called congenital hips, so I was extremely pigeon-toed, and my knees and toes were really bent in. In grade 1, I still had those Forrest Gump braces on, you know, the ones with the bars that go down the side of your legs. And for the first time in my life, I found out there's some really mean people in the world. One day, walking home from school, these 3 boys jumped me, and they hit me over and over and over again until I got them to the ground, and then they took turns spinning in my face. I never forgot those boys, and 8 years later in grade 9, I ran into the ringleader of those 3 boys in our high school bathroom. He had just transferred in from a different school. I hadn't seen him for years. He was in full stream standing at the urinal, and I took the one to his left. I said, "Do you remember me?" He said, "Yeah, man, everybody knows Pigeon." That was my nickname back then because of my legs. I said, "Do you remember what you and your friends did to me?" As we both stared straight ahead into the wall. And then he went silent. Then he zipped himself up and turned to me face to face. A tear was running down his right cheek. He said, "I've never forgotten that day. It was the worst day of my life. I think about it all the time." I told him it was one of the worst days of my life, too. He said, "I hope you can forgive me, Pidge. I was a horrible kid back then. All I can remember from childhood was reading Kid Gold comics, riding my banana bike in the sun, and playing hockey with my dad." I found out years later that that boy's father was convicted of assault multiple times, and he and his sister and mother were victims of his father's violence through his childhood. When that boy turned 27 years old, he jumped off the Lionsgate Bridge, and that was the end of him. I wept when I heard the news. All being bullied ever taught me was empathy for others.